Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Let's go start now. The Philippines conquers the tennis world. Alexandra Eala's miraculous run in Miami. Tennis has a new face that is causing a sensation. Alexandra Eala, the 19-year-old from the Philippines, currently ranked 140th in the world, has made a real statement in Miami. Her surprising victory over the reigning Australian Open winner Madison Keys put her on the big stage, and her two-set win over Iga Swiatek on Wednesday will go down as one of the biggest upsets in Miami history. Eala has already proven several times in Florida that she is not afraid of big names. She beat Jelena Ostapenko, no 25, in the second round before defeating Madison Keys in a thrilling match. The moment when she shouted into the microphone after her match point in pure euphoria, "Mom, Dad, oh my God," was one of the most emotional moments of the tournament. In contrast, the quarterfinal against Iga Swiatek was almost calm. In the first set, she dominated the visibly stunned Polish player. In the second set, she kept impressively composed and downed the top player. If you are looking for another Filipino name in the ATP or WTA rankings, you will search in vain. Eala is the only player from her country to have made it into the top 1,000 in the world, in both the men's and women's rankings. Her victories against top 30 players are historic. Never before has a representative of her country celebrated such success. But this is exactly what she sees as an incentive. There are many people in the world to look up to, but I hope that all of this will help Philippine tennis to take the next step. From Manila to Mallorca. Meanwhile, it is no coincidence that superstar Rafael Nadal also congratulated her personally. As a 13-year-old, she decided to go to the famous Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain. A big step for the young Eala, who had to leave her home country to develop her talent. "The academy has been my home for the last 7 years," she says. A decision that has more than paid off. Without any concrete role models in the tennis world, but with a sports-loving family behind her, Eala found her way onto the court. Her grandfather, a passionate club player, taught her and her brother how to play tennis. What began as a leisure activity developed into a career with international potential. Eala's future is now. She already showed her exceptional talent as a junior. In 2022, she triumphed at the US Open in the junior competition, and in 2020 she reached the semifinals of the French Open. Her ambition is unbroken. Every player on the tour imagines herself as a finished athlete. "My goal is to make it on the WTA Tour, win Grand Slams, and climb up the world rankings. I think I've taken a good step in that direction." With her sensational run in Miami, Eala proved that she is ready for the big stage. After her masterpiece against Iga Swiatek, it is now more open than ever where her path will take her. But one thing is certain: the tennis world should remember this name. In the unpredictable world of tennis, where the big names dominate the headlines and the same top players fight for titles year after year, a new star has emerged from the Philippines, shaking up the established order in ways no one expected. Alexandra Eala, a 19-year-old tennis prodigy, stunned the world with her miraculous run at the 2025 Miami Open, making history as she became the first Filipino to claim a prestigious WTA 1000 title. In a tournament filled with legendary players, Eala's extraordinary performance captured the hearts of tennis fans worldwide. And in doing so, the Philippines has now made its mark on the international tennis scene. A dream run. The upset of the century. The Miami Open has long been a proving ground for rising stars, a place where young talents are given the stage to prove they belong among the sport's elite. However, no one could have predicted what transpired in 2025 when Alexandra Eala, ranked outside the top 50, embarked on a tournament run that would not only defy expectations but inspire an entire nation. Eala's journey to the final was nothing short of miraculous. She faced seasoned players, each of whom had their own history of success on the big stage, and yet Eala, with her calm demeanor and relentless determination, found a way to outplay them. First, she overcame a top 20 player in the second round, demonstrating an astonishing mix of power and precision. Her deep, heavy ground strokes, sharp angles, and impeccable timing caught her opponents off guard, setting the stage for what was to come. By the time she reached the quarterfinals, Eala had become the talk of the tournament. The tennis community started to take notice of the Filipino teenager who seemed to be playing with a level of maturity and poise far beyond her years. Each match was a statement, But it was in the semifinals where she truly announced herself to the world. Facing a former Grand Slam champion, Eala stood undeterred, pushing the match into a decisive third set. With every point, she showed more of her potential, finishing with a perfect blend of offensive power and defensive resilience. But the true magic happened in the final. The world's eyes were on her as she faced an opponent ranked in the top 10. Many expected a routine win for the higher-ranked player, but Eala had other plans. Her serve was immaculate, her forehand relentless, and her court coverage seemingly endless. With the eyes of the tennis world upon her, the 19-year-old stood tall, securing victory in a match that will be remembered as one of the greatest underdog stories in the history of the sport. The legacy of Rafael Nadal, a hidden influence. Behind the scenes of Eala's rise, there is a powerful narrative of mentorship and inspiration. The left-handed tennis legend, Rafael Nadal, has long been a source of inspiration for many players around the world, and for Eala, his influence was instrumental in shaping her game. Nadal, known for his relentless work ethic and his ability to overcome adversity, has served as an informal mentor to Eala as she made her transition from junior tennis to the WTA Tour. In the weeks leading up to the Miami Open, Eala had the privilege of training with Nadal in his native Spain. The two shared time on the practice courts, where Eala, like many young players, soaked up Nadal's knowledge and experience. The bond between the two left-handed players, despite their age gap, was immediately evident. It wasn't just about technique or strategy. It was about mindset. Eala learned to stay calm under pressure, to fight for every point, and to never take a moment for granted. What Eala has learned from Nadal is visible in every aspect of her game. Her ability to remain composed in high-stakes situations mirrors the mental resilience Nadal has cultivated throughout his career. Her relentless pursuit of every ball, her refusal to back down from a challenge, and her dogged determination to push through setbacks are all qualities that Nadal has made famous. In the 2025 Miami Open final, as she stared down her more experienced opponent, it was clear that the spirit of Nadal was with her, propelling her to greatness. A nation united, the Philippines celebrates. Eala's victory transcended the tennis world. It was a moment of national pride for the Philippines. In a country where basketball has long been the dominant sport, and the spotlight on tennis has often been dim, Eala's success has ignited a new wave of interest in the game. The entire nation rallied behind her as she made history, with fans flooding social media to celebrate her achievement. News outlets in the Philippines were abuzz with the story of the young tennis star who had defied the odds and become a global sensation.